Hi, this is Coralla at CorallaFicklin.com, WelcomeNetwork.com, and welcome is WYLCOME Network.com, Welcome.com. If you want to pick up any of my writings, anything I've written as far as language is concerned, you can go to Pedians, PEDIANS.com, or if you want to download any of the iStudy cards or the study cards or the study guides, you can go to iStudycards.com, iStudyGuides.com, or anywhere INIWHERE.com. You can also go to minimumpairs.com, idiomaticexpressions.com, idiomaticsynonyms.com, and there are a couple more. It's about 25 altogether. Just come in, and then you can be in the site. You'll be directed to different sites that might be of interest to you. What I'm doing now is I want to look at idiomatic expressions in English, well, it's a combination of idiomatic expressions and vocabulary. Vocabulary that you might not necessarily know, because it's vocabulary that is not necessarily taught in the classroom or readily taught in English books, but you will probably hear and probably not understand when you're listening to movies, when you're listening to the radio, when you're listening to music, when you go to a movie in English or whatever. Sometimes I'll take a word and I'll play with that word and see how that word is used throughout English. Okay, sometimes, and I have videos on that. But sometimes I'll take a particular letter and just see how many expressions or how many idiomatic expressions or slang expressions I can have with that letter. Not with the word, but with the letter. The letter I'm going to look at today is the H. Now don't forget, in English you pronounce, in most cases, not all the time, but in most cases you pronounce the H, okay? So it's that's how it's pronounced. Alright, so, and this is all with the verb to be. And let me give you an example. Now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to give you the expression, and then I'm going to give you a sentence using that expression. And then maybe I'll wait a couple, not a second because that's too long, but I'll wait a little bit, or you might want to turn off the video to see if you can, without me telling you, if you know the meaning of that expression, because you heard the context and you said, oh yeah, I understand that. For example, to be a handful. And handful is spelled Handful, to be a handful. And here's the sentence. He is a handful. How do you get any rest? Okay, he is a handful. How do you get any rest? Now, wait for a second or so. It's less than a second. Now let me tell you what it means, but maybe from the context you already know. To be a handful means to be naughty or mischievous. It's to be bad, but bad like a child is bad, not bad in the sense of someone doing something horrible. Like if you say a child is a handful, a child is naughty because he's like 2 or 3 years old and he's here, he's there, and he's in a lot of different places, and so he's a handful. Another expression, to be a hard and fast rule. To be a hard and fast rule. And here's this sentence. This is a hard and fast rule, so stop trying to change it. So if I say a rule is hard and fast, this is a hard and fast rule. So you trying to change it, you're wasting your time. So it's hard and fast. To be a hard and fast rule is to be a rule which is firm, unchangeable, and or fixed. You can't change it. To be hardcore. To be hardcore. He is a hardcore core conservative. So you're wasting your time trying to convince him about, let me give you something, current, about Obama. So he is a hardcore conservative. So you're wasting your time trying to convince him to vote for Obama. All right? To be hardcore, to be a person who has a strong belief or opinion. To be resolute in one's belief. So if you're hardcore, you're someone probably who's not going to change. You have very fixed beliefs, and that's it. Okay. To be a hard drinker. To be a hard drinker. Yes, he is a hard drinker, but he is not an alcoholic. You know what I'm doing? I'm pronouncing my H's too strongly. You don't go hard. I just want to see that you do pronounce the H. Although I know there are sections in the UK and British English where even though it's correct to pronounce your H's, they don't pronounce their H's. What's that? My Fair Lady, in which he has a candle, and to make sure that they pronounce their H's, he has a candle, and with the flame, and you have to go. And if the flame doesn't move, that means you're not pronouncing your H's. In American English, we pronounce our H's. No problem. We don't go hard. We say hard. Okay. To be a hard drinker is to be a heavy or serious drinker. To be a boozer. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an alcoholic. An alcoholic is a hard drinker, but a hard drinker is not necessarily an alcoholic. To be, let me give you something besides hard, okay? Well, this one is, I think is interesting. To be a hard liner, and hard is H-A-R-D, to be a hard liner. He is such a hard liner that it's a waste of time trying to talk to him. If you're a hard liner, okay? He is such a hard liner that it is a waste of time to try to talk to him. Talking to him is a waste of time. To be a hardliner means to be uncompromising or unbending, to take a hard line. And if you're uncompromising and unbending, in a sense you're hardcore. That is, you believe a particular thing, no matter what anyone says, even if they show you something logically, it won't matter. It will not matter. You think you're right, and everybody else is wrong. Okay. One more expression. One more expression with hard. To be a hard nut to crack. To be a hard nut to crack. I don't understand her because she is a hard nut to crack. Okay? I don't understand her because she's a hard nut to crack. All right? She's someone who won't let you get close to her, so she is incomprehensible. All right? To be a puzzle, a mystery, someone completely incomprehensible. All right? She's a hard nut to crack, so you're wasting your time with her. All right. To be a hawk. Now we're finished with the hard. To be a hawk. To be a warmonger, and the opposite of a hawk is a dove. So if you're a hawk, you're someone who's ready to go to war. Let's go to war right now. It's time. Now let's go. Versus a dove is someone who rather try to find ways to negotiate, and they rather emphasize that what we want is peace versus war. Okay. Oh, I forgot to give you the sentence. I just gave you the definition. Let me give you the sentence. He was a hawk during the Vietnam War. That's when we really use that expression a lot. Sorry, I should have given you the sentence first. Okay, I'll give you one more. To be a headache. To be a headache. He is such a headache, especially when he talks too much. He is such a headache, especially when he talks too much. To be a burden, to be a bother, to be a pest, to be someone who gets on someone else's nerves. So to be a headache. Okay, so you can come in. This is all compiled in a book, and the book has about, how many pages is it? 1,270 pages, and each page has about 10 expressions. So this is Corrala Ficklin at corralaficklin.com.